I'm going to be a little sporadic over the next couple of weeks because I'm over in Italy gaining 25 pounds right now. So bear with me. But Jen Wood over at Fitz News sent me this deposition that I thought we really needed to talk about because it's about Nancy Mace and it's part of the South Carolina shit show because Nancy Mace is running for governor of the state of South Carolina. She hasn't declared it yet, but everybody knows that she intends to run. And this deposition had some fireworks in there from someone who knows her quite well. So a deposition is basically a question and answer period, but it's done under oath. It's sworn testimony that can be used in court. Now, this deposition was taken from Nancy's friend and campaign advisor, like one of her top people. He said Nancy doesn't have very many friends, so probably somebody who is closer than most to her and knows her very well. And in this deposition, he said a lot of things about Nancy's allegations about Patrick Bryant, her former boyfriend, and two of his friends. Now remember, she said she'd found pictures of unclothed women on his phone taken without their knowledge. And it basically had allegations of human trafficking in there. Now, what she did with this man who's given the deposition is she said to him, look, she and Patrick Bryant were boyfriend and girlfriend. They were breaking up. She asked him to go and take the fact that she had those pictures to Mr. Bryant and tell him that if she didn't get both of their two properties that they owned together, one in Washington and one on the Isle of Palms, if she didn't get full ownership of those properties, she was going to ruin him by exposing all of those pictures and telling everybody what he did. Basically, and this man uses the word in his deposition, he said, she asked me to blackmail him for her, to extort him, all of the bad words. Now, why this is really interesting and why this deposition is interesting is because Nancy Mace is being sued for defamation by these three men that she made these statements against. Now, Nancy Mace gave this speech on the floor of Congress. Anything you say on the floor of Congress is generally bulletproof. She has immunity from defamation from any statements made on the floor of Congress. But the problem is, in this particular case, these statements really didn't have a whole lot to do with anything that Nancy Mace was doing. They weren't congressional in nature. And what this man did in his deposition was come in and say, hey, no, she wasn't working on anything related to human trafficking, nothing about being a victim. But important to note, he said, Nancy plays the victim in everything. We've all seen that. Everything, Nancy is a victim. He also says that she will lie and do anything she can for her own personal gain. Never anything for other people, always for her own personal gain. Like, for instance, not reporting these pictures to the police and instead trying to extort Patrick Bryant to get these properties. The biggest thing that he said, and this is, again, one of the men who knows her the most, I wouldn't trust a word she said. I also think he said that she was basically unhinged and that he was worried about her safety from self-harm. Like a lot of crazy in there. And this was the woman that is signed up, well, not quite signed up yet, but fully intends to run for governor of the state of South Carolina. That would be one of the biggest shit shows we could ever have.